Welcome to Artsy Fartsy with yours truly. Now, I find it unfortunate that during my current summer, I am yet to lock in. So, I hope you've gotten comfy because we're gonna need to backtrack a bit. Back in October of 2024, I had toured Ringling College of Art and Design, and a couple months later, saw that they were hosting an animation competition on Instagram. So, to make a long story short, I got second place and got a full tuition scholarship to their pre-college program. So this summer, I'll be taking some college classes at Ringling, and I've begun to freak out as that start date keeps growing closer. And today I thought it would be fun to just walk through some exercises and studies I wanted to revisit before I leave for Ringling. After scrolling on Pinterest for a bit, I picked out these pictures to recreate, and kept in mind that I wanted each picture to work on a different facet of art. I also kept in mind that I should be choosing from a wide variety of body types, ages, and ethnicities. Because like a great artist I love once said, drawing from a small variety of people can only stunt your artistic growth. So I began with this picture of this little girl doing ballet. I decided to choose this one to start because I wanted to warm up, honestly. This was the simplest one. And I also thought it was really cute. Just like a wholesome moment happening, and it kind of reminded me of the Gerber baby. And I also wanted to draw a child to test my understanding of visual proportion to ensure that I wasn't just memorizing what a body looked like, but I could actually infer size relation from an image. Next, I drew this gorgeous ballerina. And I really wanted to focus on values, which was like an evolution from the sketch I did prior. I wanted to make it like a full picture. So it kind of reminded me of Russian ballet, which was really pretty and new, which you just don't see a lot of. I also really appreciated the line of action in this. It's just the arms, the honestly static vertical line of action, but very fluid horizontal line of action. That was really eye-catching. And I actually really like that this hand I drew kind of looks like the style of an artist called Jackie Druzhko, which I love because I'm getting closer to looking like the artist I've always loved. So go check her out, she's great. Next is a personal favorite of mine out of these studies. And here's the picture. I wanted to practice drawing straight from observation for this one, so no sketch lines, and I've actually noticed a strange skill where I tend to draw better when I don't let myself use sketch lines, which is kind of weird because it goes against almost everything I've learned in art, but that's okay. And I also love the fact that there's a dog in the picture that immediately made me want to draw it. And for this picture, I really wanted to practice color context and, like, color theory. So that was difficult, but that's a skill I need to work on. Oh, and this image really reminded me of visual development in the style I was drawing, and VizDev is actually a topic I'm studying at Ringling. So that'll be fun, that's good practice. Next is a bit of a simpler one, but it's still important. This picture, I really wanted to focus on exaggeration in this study, so I made the image a bit more cartoony than the reference, and if you watch closely, I go over the drawing to exaggerate it more and more and more, which is something Jackie Druzhko says to do a lot with character design, but this was really inspired by a YouTuber and artist I watched named Ginja Ninja. And I really wanted to make the pose dynamic, and I liked the proportion and foreshortening on the subject. Next is a study of another dancer. I wanted to explore drawing with silhouette specifically, so not lines but more blocks. For the result of this, I really liked the sketchy look, and silhouette is how I draw a lot in sketchbooks, which is also inspired by Ginja Ninja. I loved the flow of fabric. That's what drew me to this picture. I just really loved the line of action it created, the forms it built around the body. It was pretty. And in this picture too, I wanted to practice color context with the lighting of the clothes and the flowy fabric of the skirt. So moving on to the second to last image, I decided to make a more finished drawing for this one, and I really liked how, in such a static pose, you could still infer that movement was happening, that there's a movement within the pose. So I also wanted to practice rendering darker skin, which is kind of just a challenge for me because I do have lighter skin, and it's a lot easier whenever I draw to just copy what I look like. And I really wanted to explore diversity in that and really test my understanding of lighting, subsurface scattering, how all that works. And I think this was my best balance of time spent and best result. I really like how this one turned out. It was nice. And for the final study, I decided to pick a drawing of me from a dance competition. And this is the best picture I could find, and I know it's a little funny looking, but it's like a known fact amongst competition dancers that comp pictures are just ugly, and it's honestly kind of difficult to get a good picture of someone in motion, so I understand. And I really wanted to practice color theory and color context with this drawing, much like past drawings, but this one was very specific because it had colored light. When I was on stage, they have like lights that are changing colors a lot, and I just really thought that would be good for practicing skin, the clothes, all of that. And this was my most detailed drawing, I think, in the end. And no, that's not just because it's of me, but I really like the way it turned out. I think it was really good. Okay, and now just for the very end, I kind of want to rank them. I think my least favorites are gonna be these two. They're just kind of like the simplest and the sketchiest. I do like them, but the exaggeration just didn't give much substance to the drawing. And then the flowy fabric was just a little too unrendered. It got the point across of the study. It's just not exactly as good as the others. Next are these two, tied for second to last. This is where we start getting to, I actually love these drawings. I really like the little ballerina and the line of action in the more finished piece. But yeah, these are really cute, and I like how they're both of specifically ballerinas. That's funny. Next is the yoga pose. I think this one's really good. It's just kind of simple. Simple in the way it doesn't depict a scene or an occurrence happening. It is kind of just someone doing yoga in a white void. And my top two favorites, love these, are the one of me and the one of the older man. I just really liked the way these turned out in color, in scenery, in rendering, and storytelling. I just think that these were the best pieces overall. Alright, thanks for watching. I really want to make another video that kind of unpacks pre-college once I get back. And maybe I could show some art, some experiences that happened, and I think that'll be fun. So feel free to like and subscribe if you liked the video. See you most likely after pre-college, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye!